This is a review of the Alva Baby All-in-one diaper, which I got from alvababy.com. They were $6.40 a piece. They come with a standard 3-layer microfiber insert. This is what the outside looks like on them. This one is a minky. There's two different kinds. There's the minky and then there's a regular PUL. The minky is lined with the PUL material, but it's also on the outside as minky. The minky is very soft. I have watched previous videos when I was trying to decide which ones to order, and they said, you know, it's soft. What I didn't realize till after I bought it is it's actually almost a thick, if I can get my camera to focus here, it's actually almost a thick fleece material. Like it's a heavier nap than I thought it was going to be. I mean, you can tell it's very, very soft and it is nice, but I think it's going to be very warm during the summertime. It is very soft, but this is what they look like from the outside, and you can see on the side the Alva Baby logo. Anyway, they're soft from the outside. You've got your 2 snaps. So you get a 2-snap rise, and that's just so that when you snap these up, you can make the diaper, you know, smaller, so that they're supposed to be a one size, so that they work with, you know, newborns and smaller babies, and then they should work all the way up through potty training. They're quite bulky. If you tried to put that on a newborn, I don't know as though it would fit very well. I started this whole cloth diapering thing with my son was 15 months old, so I can't say as far as how they would fit on a small baby, but that is as small as it gets on the waist. And you can see that's not a very small hole there, if you want to have, you know, a snug fit. But that's what they look like snapped up with the 1-snap rise from the outside. Now I'll bring over my other one. This one is a regular PUL, which I will bring up so that you can see. It's just a shiny, it's a polyester material. It's really soft, it's smooth, so it doesn't chafe on their skin. You've got your 2 snaps on the outside, and you've got 3 adjustments on the band, so that you can adjust the different sizes, you know, from here all the way up to small like the other one was. You get your 2 snaps for your rise, and then in the back you can see it does have the elastic. And then when it's open, this is what they look like. Now, there's 2 different kinds, and I will post on here which one I ordered, which series I ordered, but I ordered the one that has the PUL flap on the front. Now that is so that the pee doesn't actually wick up and then wind up getting their clothing wet if they pee in them too much. I haven't had that issue because I ordered some pocket diapers that don't have that, and it doesn't seem to be an issue, but it is something that they point out, especially with male children, that sometimes most of the pee winds up in the front, so sometimes it wicks up before it wicks backwards. So I did order these, and these ones, because they have the PUL on the front, they stuff from the front. So they come with a standard 3-layer microfiber insert, which I mentioned earlier, and that is sewn into the micro suede material on the outside. Where they do have the pocket, you can stuff them for extra if the 3-layer becomes, because where they're made to go from newborn all the way through, as they get older, sometimes you need a little bit more, and you can actually stuff them with a extra insert, which is a nice feature, so you're not stuck with just the 3-layer and can only use them, you know, say a half hour on your child if they, you know, are using the bathroom a lot. I have noticed that this is fine for my 16-month-old now. Seems to be fine. I change them every 2 hours, maybe 3 hours if I, you know, not paying attention to the clock. They seem to work pretty fine. Like I said, these are the micro suede on the inside, so it's a really soft, but it doesn't pill like the micro fleece. Now, I will go over the pros and cons of these. The pros, you don't have to stuff the diaper. So once it's dry, you just fold it up. I fold mine like this, flip my edges in, fold my sides, and then I just stick them in my container. Now, that's super easy. There's no stuffing them. Unless you need to because your child, you know, pees a lot. But that is one pro. The other pro is they are a double gusset, which I believe they called a dual barrier on the website. But you can see where they have the elastic for the leg, and then they have the second elastic on the inside. Now, when I watched a video, I didn't see that this is actually an elastic covering. So it's sewn over the PUL. And I was worried that that was going to chafe because it seemed like it could be itchy, but after it was washed, it's actually really soft, and I haven't had any issues on my son with that chafing his legs. It does have an open PUL where it's sewn for that double gusset. That seems to be fine. That doesn't bother my son. The PUL, which is one thing I will mention, I didn't realize, but it's actually stretchy. So it's waterproof, but it's stretchy, and I was worried it was going to be more like a raincoat material, but it's quite stretchy, so it's really comfortable. My son doesn't really mind at all. He's fine with that, so that's a pro that it has that. I mean, you don't have to stuff them, which I mentioned, which is another pro. Now, to the cons. My son has a really tiny waist and chunky legs. So that being said, when you button this all the way up to the small buttons, it's too small in the legs for him. So I actually have to go sideways and go on one button here and then go sideways onto a button over here, because I can't button them straight and still have room for his legs, because when they're buttoned straight, the leg holes are really tiny, which I'm not a huge fan of because they wind up pinching his legs and leave little red marks on his skin. So I'm not a big fan of the fact that they only have the 3 across, because he's currently in between. He can't be on this one because it's too tight and leaves marks on his back, but this one is too loose and he winds up, it's not tight enough. I'm worried about pee coming out and stuff like that, which I'm not a huge fan of. And then they only have a 1 snap rise, so you don't have that adjustment for smaller children, even though these are supposed to be a one size fits all, use them from newborn to potty training and all of that. So you don't have a whole lot of adjustment there. I find, we started when he was 15 months old, so I don't really need that rise. I haven't used them on these diapers, but I do dislike the size, the giant gaps, because, if he's in between these 2 sizes, this obviously isn't going to fit, but that's going to be way too big because you're doing it on both sides. So then you wind up having to snap, one here and one here to try and get the right distance, but when you do that, one leg holds tight, one leg holds loose. So I'm not a gigantic fan of these. I do like the stuff in the front part, because that makes the back a lot easier. It's one row, no problem. They're easier to put on that way. So they are easier to put on him, but they take forever to dry. And I mean, like, forever. I watched a video and read a bunch of reviews, and people say, these are nice. They come in really cute prints. I like the fact that they are all in one, they're easy, but they do take easily 3 times as long to dry. Because you don't get air moving through, you can't take the inserts out. Makes them easy to wash because you don't have to take the inserts out when they're dirty, but they are ridiculously long time to dry. So, there's pros and cons. It's one of those things that you're going to have to find what works best for your son or your daughter. But for me, I found that these aren't my favorite. I'm probably not going to order any more of these. But you may find that you absolutely love them. So that's just my experience with them and how I feel about them.